welcome to another episode of Wow You Can Cook. And today, Dr. Gloria has an amazing recipe for you called Taiwanese sesame noodles. Hi, Gloria. How's it going?
It's going fine, other than we're being told to prepare to shelter. We've got storms coming, so if I have to cut off for some reason, Tracy will be able to take over. She's a master at this. So, hello everybody. I hope you had a great Mother's Day, and Tracy just shared a funny little thing with us, so that was good. We all needed a laugh, I think.
Yeah, we don't want that in the recording to get out to the public.
No, we don't. But thanks for sharing that. That gave us all a good smile. The thing that I was saying just before the recording started was that I've been working for a very long time on mastering a recipe for a Worcestershire sauce that does not have the nightshades, because so many recipes really benefit from just a dash of Worcestershire, but I could never have it. And I had some recipes that different chef friends around the world literally had given me, but it was never just right. Well, I finally perfected it, and it only has 4 ingredients. So what I was asking all of you, and everybody shook their head, was if you'd like to have the recipe ahead of time, we're not going to use it probably for a few weeks, but you can make a jar of it. What we did was I saved a bottle that was like a soy sauce, or a tahini bottle. And then after you cook, make just a cup of it. I think it's a cup and a half when it's finished after you cook it. And you cook it for 5 minutes. I mean, it's so simple. After you do that, then you can put up, a funnel and put it in a bottle and refrigerate it. So, Tracy, we can figure out a way to, I can put that in something, or we can typeset it somehow to just get it out to them, can't we?
Yeah, just send me the recipe and I'll make a cute graphic and I'll post it on Telegram.
Perfect. So that's what we're going to do. So be looking for it. Then you can put it in a little jar or bottle and label it. And they say, my chef friend says that with what I put in it, if it keeps refrigerated, it'd be good for 6 months. It's 4 ingredients. It's really cool. And we made the Salisbury steak, which will be a recipe I'll give you later to use it this weekend. And the gravy is like, you could put it in an IV on me. It's so good. So wow. It's that good. I'm going to make mashed sweet potatoes tonight and have it tonight for dinner. But the other question I have, since I know, like I said, the recipe's not going to take long today, I want to get all this out. The recipe, for instance, for the Salisbury steak, the only way it is absolutely, melting in your mouth good is if you cook it in a slow cooker. So Tracy, help me out here. You're the pro at figuring this stuff out. If I gave everybody a recipe for Salisbury steak, it's cube steak is what you use, and it literally melts in your mouth. If you have the cube steak and you put it in a slow cooker, you'd have to do that the night before in order for us to then taste it and add the few little things that you have to add, like the Worcestershire sauce that you would add then when we do the show. Do any of you have any opposition to that?
I prefer, remember when you and I were doing our show, I prefer that we cook everything together. And then what we can do is add the stuff that we need to add. Like if they're cooking, how long is it going to take? Think about their dinner. So what they can do, here's what they can do. They can cook it with us during the day, and then they can selfie video themselves adding the ingredients and tasting it. And then they can send it to me and I will have it added to the end, and it will be kind of fun to see.
Yeah. See, I knew she'd come up with she's the pro with all this and the videos, but I couldn't think of how we could do this, but that's fun. We can do that. So I'll get that recipe together so that you can make the Salisbury steak, because I don't necessarily want Salisbury steak in July or August when it's hot. I think right now with the weather being kind of iffy, it's a good time, or in the fall and winter. So I'd like to get it to all of you sooner. So I'll work that out with Tracy. But anyway, for those of you cooking, put your thumbs up if you're cooking, so I know how many I've got. I think 3. 3 are cooking today? Okay. Welcome, Billy. I see you down there in the corner. Okay. In Jorgen, I love having you gentlemen with us. Okay, so I'm going to turn my light on because I can't see worth the darn, which just means I'm going to fade out on you here. So you're going to take a very heavy skillet, or a wok, whatever you have, and you're going to heat over medium to medium high. Now you're going to have to judge because we've all had these challenges with either electric or gas stoves. So what you're going to do is the recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of neutral oil. Neutral oil is coconut or avocado. I prefer coconut for something like this because it's an Asian type dish, but you choose whatever you want. You're going to use a tablespoon of that and 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. Now, I didn't say dark. Some people don't like dark sesame. I prefer it. It has a nice, richer flavor. So you're going to heat the wok, put in that oil, and then as you've heard me say, when the waves of wellness come across the skillet, you know that it's ready to put in the onions. Yeah. You see Linda Tracy waving?
Nancy, what's up?
I have a question. I only
Yes.
have like a small wok.
That's
So-
fine.
Okay.
That's fine. No big deal, hon. And that's a perfect wok. I like the one you have. I had one like that. It's a good size, especially for 2 people. Okay, so then you're going when the oil is shimmering, you're gonna add the onion. Now I said 2 minutes, but I know on the electric stove here in the apartment, it takes longer. When I had a gas stove, like Tracy has when we were doing the show in her kitchen, it's pretty quick. Put it a little higher if it's not going to get transparent quick enough. Okay, you want it to cook just slightly soften. You don't want it brown. This isn't one of those recipes that you want the tips brown like when we make East Indian food. Okay, that's not the case here. And when you see, depending on your stove, that it's transparent, that it's getting soft, transparent means it's softening, then you're going to add up to 3 cloves of garlic. And I have to tell you, I cheated and put 5, and it was amazing because I like a lot of extra sauce. Good thing I didn't have to have anybody around me that day, but it was really good. So then you add your garlic. The reason you don't put the garlic in right with the onion is because the garlic cooks quicker and it can burn.
Okay,
so you
let's
want
pause.
it towards the end.
Let's pause so they can get caught up.
Yep. I'm watching.
I have an
Go ahead,
electric
hon.
stove. I have an electric ceramic stove, so it's taken a little bit longer.
That's okay. That's why we're gonna slow down. That's okay. See, what I mean is I have the electric with the coils, which is even worse, but any electric stove takes a little longer usually. Now I have people that say that they have hot spots on their electric so that things burn. So that's why I said, put your thumbs up when your onions and your garlic, onions are transparent and the garlic is then added. And it'll be about another minute after you add the chopped garlic. And again, the garlic can be anywhere from 3 to 5 cloves. I put in 5 and I preferred it. And if you like spicy Asian food, you're going to want more garlic. Now, the noodles have a lot of options. I'm going to talk about that while you're doing that. Magna asked me a question. You bought the noodles and cooked them, right, Magda?
Yes, I did.
Yes, but sometimes you can find the cooked gluten-free noodles. I couldn't find any.
I couldn't.
But I used zoodles. The zucchinis were so beautiful right now in the spring that we spiraled those and used those. Did you have a comment, Tracy?
No, Nancy
do.
has a question.
No, I'm not a question.
Oh, I didn't.
I
yes.
did a lot of prepping this morning, so I have both, but my neighbor, a really good friend, gave me a really nice zoodle maker. And so I can do either. So
Okay, you
whatever.
know what my suggestion is? If you have 2 pots that you can use, or do one and then take it off, do a little bit of both so that you can see the difference and which one you like, because they're really different. Remember,
Okay.
the zoodles absorb the flavors quicker than the noodles, believe it or not. Okay, because the noodles are flour, even if they're gluten-free.
And Linda got the palmini noodles.
Oh, okay. Linda got palmini. And Magda, do you have regular noodles or
I have-
gluten-free?
I have rice noodles. They're gluten-free rice noodles.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah, those are good. And when I don't have to really watch my carbs for my blood sugar, those are the ones I get. I love them. What did you get?
I got, it's grain-free cassava spaghetti noodles.
Yeah, cassava.
Yeah.
Yeah, cassava. That's good too. It's not a nightshade, but I can't eat a lot of cassava. I will still get some inflammation in my hands, but I can eat it occasionally. But it's
Well,
not
that's a
gluten.
good
You're
one.
right. You're okay
Right.
with that. It's not gluten. Sandy, what did you get, honey?
I got the zucchini noodle.
Oh, good. The spiral ones?
Yeah,
The zoodles? Okay, good.
yeah, noodles.
Good. Okay, zoodles. Okay, good. So you'll see a big difference because the zoodles do absorb the flavors. They're wonderful. You know, but
Oh,
I get
okay.
tired of zoodles. I get tired of zoodles, and I'll buy the ones that Magda has, the rice noodles, or the other ones that are just the gluten-free flat noodles that are already cooked when I can find them, but I couldn't find them. Okay, so
Ah.
when that happens, when you get the onions and garlic ready, okay, you're
Okay.
gonna add the noodles. Now I said drained because I didn't know what kind of noodles you were going to use. So just make sure that if you have the zucchini noodles, they're not all wet. Use some paper towels and get some off because they won't stir fry well if they're wet. Same thing with any noodles that you cook, like Magda cooked the rice noodles, and Nancy did too. Make sure that you drain them well, and even if you have to pat them with some paper towels, water on your noodles or your zoodles will keep you from having a true stir fry flavor. They're still good, but it won't be the stir fry flavor.
You know, it's curious. It's interesting that you said that because I was making something the other day. I make these carrots that you steam first and then you dry them off, put oil and salt and then roast them. But if you don't dry them off, they don't turn out as good. So
yeah, see?
Yeah,
well, I have to try that though. That what you said sounds delicious. I love carrots done
on it.
Roasted.
Check it out.
Yeah,
Carrot.
I will. But see, that's the point. When you don't, it's no different. Hold on, Nancy. It's no different than if you're making something with cauliflower and you're ricing it and you need to keep it together. You have to take the moisture out. That's why we do it with the paper towels. Remember when we made things with that. Nancy, question, hon. Just go ahead and ask.
I forgot what it was. No, it has, my doodles. I wasn't sure. I have a steamer and I briefly steamed them a little bit this morning.
Yeah, but I always do too. Always do too. Yeah, because I don't like them real crunchy. I don't want them raw, but I don't like them real crunchy. No, that's even better. But because you steamed them, get some paper towels and just kind of, give them a hug and give them a hug gently and just take the excess water off. And that way they'll become like a stir fry. You would never see an Asian restaurant putting anything that's damp and wet into a stir fry because it won't taste the same.
Okay, I'm caught
now,
up.
You're caught up. Is everybody caught up? Sandy, are you caught up, honey?
Yeah.
Okay. Linda, good. Magda, how are you doing, hon? Good. Good? Okay. So before you add anything else, let me guide you here. I have down to add the tahini. That's okay. Go ahead and add your tahini, which is 1 tablespoon or a little bit more if you wanted a little deeper flavor. Okay? Then you're going to add your soy sauce or your Bragg's aminos. Remember, you don't want coconut aminos in a savory, salty dish because it'll make them sweet. But it doesn't matter if you use a regular tahini or if you use a soy sauce, okay? Not a tahini, sorry. If you use a soy sauce or a amino. Now, when it comes to the monk fruit, don't put it in yet if you have it. Yes, Nancy.
I'm sorry. I got to go back a step. So I'm back to the noodles or the zucchini. And you said to split it up, and I've been having nightshade issues with my joints, so I think I'll go with the zucchini. So am I putting that in right now before we put this other stuff in?
Yeah, just throw it in now after the onions and garlic are roasted. Yeah. But Nancy, wait a minute. I think I might have confused you. There's nothing that's going to induce inflammation, hun, unless your noodles have gluten.
Well, they were
if
the casino ones.
Oh, the cassava, yeah, because of what I said. I wouldn't do it if you're having issues right now.
So can I also explain something for the future? So one thing I learned is there's something called lectins. Okay.
Yes.
And nightshades are all lectins, but there are vegetables that are lectins that are not nightshades. And in
Right.
order to eat those vegetables, you want to peel and de-seed them to eliminate the inflammatory pieces of it. So like a zucchini or a cucumber, if you peel them and eliminate all the seeds, it will decrease the lectins, which
Yes.
cause inflammation in some people.
You're
That's good to
absolutely
know.
right. Thank you. And that's a good tip, Tracy. Okay,
Mhm.
everybody's caught up with the sweetener. Wait till the end. I should have said that. I cheated. I'm being upfront. I used, instead of monk fruit this time, I used raw sugar in the raw, because I used a quarter of a teaspoon in the whole dish, and I made enough for 4 servings. So the sugar in the raw gives it a true Asian flavor because it caramelizes when you put it on in the wok in the high heat or in your skillet. But if you've got monk fruit, don't put too much. Don't use I think I said 1/8 teaspoon. Don't use an 1/8 teaspoon to start with. Wait till you get all your ingredients in, stir them real well, and then add a little bit at a time so that it doesn't get too sweet on you, okay? So you're adding now the water, and that's about 3 tablespoons if you're making the recipe the way it's written. Now, white pepper is optional. Remember, white pepper is spicy. It's like adding chili peppers or cayenne. White pepper is what gives it that, wow, okay, hot Asian flavor. But it is not a nightshade, and it will not affect anybody with inflammatory disorders. So go slow on the white pepper. This is the first time I've had you actually use it like this in a recipe. And white pepper gets hotter as it sits in the food. So start out really slow. I said a quarter teaspoon. Put a couple of pinches, stir it, and see if it meets your approval. If you want it hot, like Tracy wants hot stuff, she's a hot mama anyway, so she likes things hot. She could put probably a whole quarter teaspoon or a little more. And I like things spicy, but don't put it all in right away just because the recipe says it, if you don't want things real spicy. And then you add your sesame seeds, and now you're going to put it on high. This is where the stir frying comes in. If you have a typical wok like Nancy does, I have one like Nancy, only larger, and I also have an electric wok. I don't think the electric works as well. I really like the one, and I have the Chinese wok, the metal one. What do they call that metal? It's a special metal, but anyway, I have a regular Chinese wok that I brought from China, and it's great, but not on an electric stove. That's why I haven't used it here since I had to move back. You can't do it on electric stove. It has to be gas or propane. Okay, stir it up, then taste for the sweetness. You can either use the monk fruit. I don't know about stevia. I haven't tried it with stevia. Or you use the sugar in the raw, which remember is almost like a little bit of brown sugar, but it goes a long way. You don't need a lot. You just want that little bit of that Asian sweetness to it, but it's not like a sweet and sour. That's not what we're trying to get to. And then give it the taste test. Remember, a recipe is a guide. It's not set in stone. Yeah, sure, Pat. Just go ahead, hon. You're unmuted.
Hi, I'm just curious. Have you ever heard of a sweetener called allulose?
Mhm.
ALLOS.
Tracy can give you a whole dissertation on that.
Allulose doesn't bother me.
It does bother me. Just like what was the other one that we talked about? I can never remember the name. Erythritol, which is the alcohol, the sugar alcohol. It bothers me. It doesn't bother her. So you have to try it to see if it's going to affect your GI. It'll be GI symptoms that you would get.
Magda has a question.
Yeah, Magda, where are you? Okay.
So I want to add some. We had ribs last night, and we have some left. So I cut it up in little pieces. I want to add it, and also add some bell pepper, and I grew some bean sprouts, and I want to put it in there. Is that okay to do now?
Absolutely, do it right now, because you just want the ribs are already cooked, right?
The what?
The ribs are cooked.
Oh yeah. It's left.
Okay, so you just want to heat them. Yes, now is the time.
Okay.
Pat, I want to go back to your question for a minute. Let's see. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, throw them in.
Yeah, not
Throw
all,
them in.
way too much.
Okay, there's monk fruit and allulose. You see that, Pat? That's a
Oh, yeah.
combination.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah,
now,
it doesn't
one
have
thing that several people have asked me, before monk fruit became popular in the market, Pat, I used to have, believe it or not, in my clinics, a custom-made sweetener for all my patients, and it came in a great big 1-pound tub. Wasn't cheap, but it was wonderful, and it was called Lo Han. They don't make it anymore. The FDA stopped it. But I noticed the other day, so I ordered some, and it's delicious. It's like the one I used to have made. Lo Han is the gourd that monk fruit comes from. And now Amazon has Lo Han. It's L-O, so capital L, small o, and then another word, H-A-N, Lo Han. It's the same thing. It's just a different part of the gourd that they have in Asia. And I like it because it has no bitter taste, and you can bake with it. You do everything that you would do with sugar. No calories, nothing, no GI symptoms that I've ever heard of. And like I said, I used to have it made. And God willing, once our, what we're all waiting for comes through, I have my contact in China, and it's organic, and I'm going to get it made in 1-pound packages for people because it's so delicious, and it changes the flavor because it's more like a regular sugar than any of the other alternatives. Let me put it that way. I mean, we couldn't keep it in stock. We used to buy 144 at a time, and they'd go out the door. So keep in mind that you can get Lo Han now. Make sure it's pure on Amazon, and if you get the opportunity, order some because you'll like it. Have you had it, Tracy? The Lo Han itself?
No, because I thought it was exactly the same thing.
No, it's a different. It is. I'm incorrect. It's the same gourd, a different part.
Oh,
Okay, so the sweetness is the same as monk fruit, but it's processed more like regular cane sugar. Okay, it's very good. Okay, all right. So where are we here, Sandy? Did you throw everything in now and put a little sweetener?
Yes. Yes,
And?
I did. And
okay, come on. You're a good taste tester. Tell me.
It tastes good. I like it.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Do I get 4 stars or 5 stars for that one?
Probably at least a 5.
at least 5.
Bless your heart. Nancy, how you doing?
I'm doing.
I can always count on Sandy's taste test.
Yeah.
How is it?
I have one comment. So I had drained my zucchini, so I was trying to do that, make a mess here. But then it said add 3 tablespoons of water, and I went, well, I don't want to put all that water back in it.
No, not if you're using, especially not if you're using zucchini. No.
So
Yeah,
I
just drain it like we talked.
It's probably too much.
Okay,
but
get it hot enough that it becomes like a wok, like a true wok stir fry. Magda, go ahead, hon.
Okay, so the recipe says to have a tablespoon of tahini, right? And I didn't have tahini, so I looked it up. What can you use instead of tahini? And it said on the internet you can also use almond butter, which is what I used.
Oh, good. Okay, let us know how it tastes. I haven't done it, but yes, that's a good alternative.
It tastes
almond butter.
It's done and it's delicious.
Is it?
Yeah.
And you added the leftover barbecued ribs and what? Bell peppers or green peppers?
Red bell pepper, and my bean sprouts that I made.
Oh, that's right. Remember, she's not avoiding nightshade, so that's okay. She's not going to get she's not going to get an F for the class. So is it good? How is the sauce?
Yeah, it's delicious.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
And Linda, I haven't heard. Go ahead, Magda.
I'm done.
You were going to say something?
No, I'm done.
No? Linda? Oh, these ladies are such good taste testers.
I'm wondering if with the hearts of palm doesn't have a lot of taste. I added a little more of the Braggs, and I added more pepper. Anything else maybe to give it a little more taste? More tahini?
But you're using hearts of palm?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not picking up a whole lot of flavor.
You're not. How? Let's see. Did you use soy sauce or Bragg's?
Bragg's.
Okay. How's the salt? Could it use a little bit more salt?
I did a 1/3 tablespoon of it, and it is better.
It is better because it usually when there's not enough flavor, you need more of the Bragg's,
Okay.
not the sweetener. Usually it's the Bragg's, and or it needs the tahini. Did you put tahini in it?
I did, but I'm wondering if maybe I should put a little more. I've got quite a.
Yeah.
I
quite a
love
bit.
Those are the
I
yeah,
used
I love tahini.
I can't see. I used 2 packages of the Hearts of Palm, which is 3 servings a package.
Oh,
I'm
that's
wondering
Yeah.
if this may be too much of the Hearts of
It may
Palm.
be too much of the Hearts of Palm, but on top of that, I never get the same flavor with Hearts of Palm when I'm trying to do that kind of a dish. It doesn't absorb. The palm is a tougher noodle. See, it's a tougher noodle, so it doesn't absorb like zucchini would or like any of the pastas. I think that's your issue.
Okay.
So make a little bit more sauce on the side and stir it with more sauce. Then you can
Okay.
doctor it so that you can enjoy your Hearts of Palm. But how's the flavor? You said it's
Wonderful.
pretty bland. No, it's okay.
Yeah, it's great. It's almost like maybe it needs some more sesame oil too.
Well, then see, you're learning. That's what I want you to do. But make it separate. Make a
Okay.
little bowl with your Bragg's or your tahini and your sesame oil. Stir it up good, taste it, and then add it to toss. Don't just add it to your Hearts of Palm. Okay, make it separate. Get the taste where you like it, and then add it and toss it. Okay, Sandy. Is it still a 5 or more?
Oh, yeah. I like that. I like that.
Did you use the doodles?
Yes.
Doodles, right?
Yes. Yeah. I wish you could have gotten a picture of her face when she was saying how she liked it.
It's on video.
Sandy, is that the first time you've made zoodles?
Yes.
Okay, so tell somebody that hasn't had zoodles and they think, oh my God, pasta like from zucchini. Tell them your experience with it.
I just put it in a pot and turn the burner on and let it cook for about, it said 10 to 11 minutes. And
Yeah.
they came out just perfect. I did take a paper towel to them.
Okay.
Because of the moisture from the steam.
Right.
And they don't even taste like zucchini.
Exactly. That's my whole point. Billy, can I
Yes.
ask you a question, sir? Have you had zoodles?
No.
See, I'm curious because I know that with as many men patients as I have, most of them have not tried it. They kind of go, ooh, that instead of pasta. And once they make a dish that has a good sauce, the zoodles, as I was saying, absorbs the flavor so much more, even more than pasta. If you made a spaghetti sauce, Billy, and you had lots of your garlic and even some wine and all of your concoctions that go into a red sauce or a white sauce, and you use the zoodles instead, you would love it because the flavor goes in more than it does on regular noodles. So I encourage you to try it. It absorbs it. It's like a sponge. Okay?
Great. I'll try it.
Great. Thank you. Let us know. Jorgen, do
Okay.
you use zucchini noodles? No? Oh my
No,
gosh.
we use,
I just had a big thing of
pasta.
thunder and lightning. The what?
Uh-oh.
Pasta for lentils pasta and so on.
Yes, lentil pasta is good. Have
It's
any of
very-
you had black rice pasta? Oh my gosh, it's delicious. No? I made
Rice brings
some
my sugar up.
Oh yeah, wait a minute though. I'm diabetic. Black rice doesn't bring it up.
Oh, it doesn't?
If you remember, in history, and I should write an article about that, black rice in China was called forbidden rice. Cynthia would know this because she lived in China. and forbidden rice, because it was so hard to grow and it was so exclusive way back in the dynasties, that it was reserved for royalty, and you were penalized if you ate it, if they caught you eating it. Well, many years ago, a couple of companies started importing it, and then some farmers in the United States, I believe it was in the San Joaquin Valley, and up in Washington State, somehow were able to grow black rice. So I buy organic black rice, and it is much higher in protein, and it does not raise my blood sugar. If I have any other rice, it spikes in the morning.
So I wanted to show you guys this when I disappeared for a second. This is my 3rd or 4th batch of beef jerky.
Yummy.
Oh.
Wow.
I've been making that. Yeah, I usually normally just fully dehydrate it. Yesterday I tried smoking it on the Traeger for 4 hours, and it didn't have the crispiness I like. So then I put it in the dehydrator. So I have to see how it gets. I have not mastered my favorite recipe yet, but I do know that a dry rub is better, in my opinion, than anything wet. So the batch I made before this one was pretty darn good with like garlic powder and stuff. Sorry, Jorgen, I know it's not your jam. But I'm committed to finding this snack for my son. He's like, I really want you to master a recipe. So last week's recipe was better than this one, so I might go back to that. But that's all that's new here. Oh, I made something called cloud bread. Did I tell you guys about it last week?
No, I don't.
So basically all it is, you guys, is it is eggs and cream cheese. That's it. And you whip the egg whites to a meringue, and then you take the cream cheese, and I'll give you guys the recipe, but let the cream cheese soften, and then you beat that so it's creamy, and then you combine them, and then you plop them on a tray, just in 4 things, and bake it, and then it makes like a bread.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's plain, but anyway, it turned out pretty good. So I'm kind of weird. I don't eat normal, but everybody,
I'll try it.
you'll try it? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'll give you guys the recipe today. I'll make a graphic for that and Gloria's Worcestershire sauce, and I'll put it in the chatty chat. And last thing,
Okay.
reminder, we're doing a do-over on the hugs, and this time there's homework, and I'm gonna keep score so you guys can get like win prizes. I'm gonna gamify the hugs, because Cynthia and I were talking on Friday, and she says many of our members need inertia. They need these baby steps to get like pushed ahead. And so that's why I thought if we all just play a game and we kind of challenge ourselves to do these tasks day after day after day, they're little small things that you can do, but it will give you the inertia to get better and better. Okay?
All right.
All right, you guys, thank you. Sending you so much love today. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a beautiful day, my friends.
Bye.
All right. Love you,
Bye.
Tracy.
Thank
Love
you.
you guys. Bye-bye.